The Batman launches in cinemas very soon, and like any important topic, the people at the forefront of my mind are what do the academics think, and what do the critics think? Well, we've got the top critical reviews for you now, and they are a masterpiece, just like you would expect of someone of this talent. As you can see from the tweet, these people are pleasing everybody. The fans totally agree. That's why we've got such awesome takes as, if Twitter will ever load, the Batman certainly mirrors the dismal state of the world today. Any breaks from that dreariness will have to come at a different bat time on a different bat channel. Then we've got performances were emotional and raw, so the acting was great, but you're going to get a very broody Batman that never smiles. The Batman is not kid-friendly or for younger ones. And it's depressing, dark, and endless. I don't know about you, but at this particular time in history, it does not seem like the moment for a movie to leave you with A, miserable, and B, wondering why nobody in Gotham City seems to have heard of light bulbs. Oh, I don't know how the critics are going to possibly handle this. You see, at some point, some event happens in the world, but these people, despite being movie critics, feel the need to talk about it. They can't just stay in their lane and talk about the movie review in their movie review. No, we've got to talk about the state of the world, because while these people really genuinely wanted to actually be important journalists, even though I don't use that word in a complimentary manner, they find themselves instead reviewing movies, and they just desperately so longer want to talk about important news. And that is why you find people talking about these depressing times. Oh, I just need a movie to escape. It's like, I don't know. Maybe if you don't want to see a depressing, dark movie, don't go and see The Batman. That's why maybe when you have things like saying, The Batman, it's not kid-friendly. No, it's not meant to be. It's about a superhero breaking the bones of criminals. No one said it was PG-5. But no, The Batman's going to be very broody. Yes. It's the Batman. What were you expecting? And they're told it mirrors the dismal state of the world. Does it? Does it, Mr. Adam Graham? Do you go round the rooftops fighting crime and beating up people, dropping people off roofs over and to catch them just to scare the crap out of them so they'll tell you something about somebody else? Really? Is that something you do in your spare time? Is that something you have great experience in? Does it really, actually, genuinely reflect your real world? I kind of think it don't. Yeah, I kind of think that the Joker isn't actually walking around town now. But I want a different break from a different bat on a different channel. Really, really. Who's going to make you that kind of Batman? Who's going to make you the kind of Batman which is full of unicorns and rainbows, who just smiles all the time? He's just so moody. Why doesn't he just smile? Actually, no, I'm pretty sure I've heard that before. I'm pretty sure. Actually, yep, I've definitely heard that before. I can remember this. Will you please stop photoshopping smiles onto Captain Marvel? It's bigoted, don't you know? Oh, we can't have this. We can't have people saying that a superhero needs to smile. Oh no, they've got us. I think he caught us in something we weren't supposed to be caught in. Oh, we can't have this. Because while as a movie critic, it may be your job to actually remember some of the conversations around movies, it seems that some people have some small memories. That, or actually, they don't care about being hypocrites. Personally, think it's probably the latter myself, but I do remember this. I do remember where people were photoshopping smiles onto Brie Larson and how it greatly improved the image. It really did. I mean, there were people that fought back against it. There was this attempt. Yeah, we're going to use FaceApp on these people and come out with that monster. Honestly, probably. He's like, doesn't this look weird? Yes, it does. Probably, because those aren't his teeth. You know, it's a bad Photoshop is the problem there, not Iron Man smiling. So, you know, I think we can have different problems with it. But this is a very different problem than what we normally have. Normally, we're just like, okay, respect the law, respect the canon, have it be the actual character on the screen. But then, when you do, they're like, oh, well, I don't like this. Yeah, maybe Batman isn't for you. Maybe the dark and broody Batman who never smiles isn't you. Maybe you need a different IP. Because that's why different IPs exist, so everyone can find one entertaining. If you want one about unicorns and rainbows, I think Brie Larson's made one of them as well, so you can go and watch that. Apparently, it's a really great metaphor. Or if you decide to go and see something dark and broody like the Batman, don't give it a 2.5 because he never smiles and it's not kid-friendly. Yes, some movies have an age restriction because it's kind of societally agreed that we don't show brutal violence to kids. I don't know, I'm all for it myself, to be honest. Because what this says is they say the performances were great. They were emotional and raw. Awesome. They don't mention the plot. But they hate it. They give it a 2.5 because of the atmosphere. They actually mark it as a low score because it's Batman. If you can't remain unbiased during your critical review, you should probably hand that review off to another person. Because this, actually, was you saying, I'm marking it low because it's the movie that it was meant to be. And look, you can not like a movie for many reasons, but not liking Batman because it's Batman, it's probably one of the worst takes I've actually seen. And it's exactly the same here. Oh, I didn't like this because I don't like the real world, and this was dreary and dark, and actually, I wanted something about unicorns. And look, mate, I'm sorry if you don't like the state of the world, but I'm not sure how you expected the Batman movie to really solve that. It's probably not anything to do with it, actually, when you think about it. And this whole idea of, oh, it's dark and endless. In this particular time of history. I don't think history has anything to do with it. We're not going to start talking about the Roman legions. It's a Batman movie, love. It's not actually that big and important. If you expected this movie to change anything, you probably had too high standards. Seriously, what did you think was going to happen? Were we going to put it on DVDs and start mailing it to Eastern Europe? Were they going to start sharpening the edges and using them as frisbee weapons? Seriously, you're going to have to let me in on the plan, because as far as I'm concerned, I can't see it. And I don't know, for some of these reviewers, I would say that if the movie leaves you miserable, are you sure you didn't start that way to begin with? But I do find it interesting, just the difference in take. Oh no, Batman needs to smile, Batman needs to smile, Batman needs to smile. Not Brie Larson, no, that'd be horrible. We can't do that. That'd be every Easternphobe in the world. That would be horrendous. I mean, it does improve her though, doesn't it? It does improve the picture. Like, from an objective standpoint, it's a better picture. Calling out hypocrisy only works when you're dealing with someone that cares about having a consistent point of view, because they realize if they have contradictory opinions, then one of them is wrong. But when you're dealing with people who simply wished they were somewhere else in life, doing some other job, I desperately wish I was doing a bigger, more important job. What I actually want to do, I want to work for CNN. I want to be a big news journalist. I want to be reporting on Eastern Europe, right there on the front lines, being big and important. And instead, I'm watching the Batman. That's what these are. That all of this is just sheer inadequacy, wishing that they'd done something else in life, something more important, than they're taking it out on the Batman. That's why everything gets crowbarred into this. It's not just about the movie. None of this is actually about the movie. It's about the state of the world. Oh, I really need to talk about it. I can't just stick to what I've chosen to do, or I've been forced to do through life circumstances. They're just so desperate to be taken seriously. So desperate to have somebody think that their writing is actually important, rather than treating them with the disdain they deserve. And that is why one of the best kind of things to do with people like this is just laugh. Oh, I'm sorry that the Batman didn't live up to your hyper fantasy. I'm sorry if you expected the Batman to come out in rainbow colours and start dancing, singing in the rain. I'm so sorry that in your Batman movie, it wasn't 90 minutes of him playing with puppies and then another 30 of him watching the Great British Bake Off. And I'm so sorry you're disappointed and didn't get what you expected. But I would say that perhaps, if you're actually disappointed with the dismal state of the world in your life, if you actually find it so depressing, something that leaves you so miserable, that actually, it might be your fault. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe, more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.